although being a president makes me less of an archer, unfortunately, I've noticed a lot of the times I'm going up to the club and doing more work than actually shooting my bows.
You're listening to the Letdown Podcast.
It's like buck fever.
One shot at a time.
That's a big part.
Daniela, welcome to the Letdown. You'll be our 28th guest. So
Very cool.
yeah, thanks
And
for
second
coming.
female.
Yeah, following
Second
some big shoes to fill from what I saw so far. So
Well, I think you won't have any problems filling them. So, no, but let's get into it. So, you archer competitor, president, reluctant president, maybe I could say, for Archers of Caledon.
yeah, voluntold.
So, how would you define yourself? Competitor, president, or all of it?
Not very much president. I have to give kudos to my board. They do so much of the heavy lifting. So yeah, I mean, realistically, I'm barely the one there doing the hard work. I'm just there for the meetings, make the decisions, do the tough stuff. But it's 100% the people that I work with on that board at Caledon make that club what it is. So, although being a president makes me less of an archer, unfortunately, I've noticed a lot of the times I'm going up to the club and doing more work than actually shooting my bow. So that has to change for sure.
So as a competitor, like what kind of competitor would you say you are?
All around. I mean, I really do love it. Started 3D when it was only unknown. It started off very badly. I look back at old pictures and oh my gosh, I shake my head. Love field, absolutely love it. That is, if I have to choose, that almost always will be the winner. Haven't done as much target outdoor, especially. It's been a couple years since I've done it. I do enjoy it. I love the camaraderie of it. I love the challenge of it, especially. I mean, I don't like 50 meters, but trying to shoot in the wind and in the sun and everything should be super easy, and it doesn't work out that well. Makes you better overall, for sure. But yeah, no, it's field, then 3D, and then I'll go target. Are kind of where I like to fall with my archery.
Fair enough. Do you feel like you put any pressure on yourself out there, or like are you a competitive person by nature?
100%. Expectation, like self expectation, I think is my biggest enemy when it comes to competing, because I know what I can do. I know what I have done. And if I see things start to kind of go off the rails and I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, or I'm not shooting where I'm supposed to be, or the scores, oh my gosh, I'm horrible on myself. Like one of the best things I heard the other day was try to be nice to yourself. And it's tough when stuff isn't working the way I know it should be.
Yeah, I can't give any lessons on being nice to myself, or to yourself.
The absolute worst. Can't get any worse.
It's crazy tough. Like I look back and I'm not nearly as disciplined as I was when I was really into it. Like when I was going for Vegas and when I was really going for the target team, the amount that I was shooting and the amount that I was practicing, and the scores that I was putting up, I look at it now, I'm like, why can't I do that anymore? And then I have to remind myself, because I'm shooting like maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, like no way am I going to be able to put those scores up
Right.
like I was when I was shooting every day. So
Right,
yeah,
right.
it's the expectation it's a horrible thing.
So
For sure.
So as a competitor who shoots often on like in shootouts, what's your mindset like going into a shootout?
I try to keep all the nasty little conversations in my head out. Thank God I have Josh, because he's the one that talks me off the ledge every time. I mean, it's crazy because you have to do them to get better at them, but they never get easier. They really don't. At least not for me. And it's usually, again, it's that expectation of what I know I should be able to do. So I start to get into my own head and I start to doubt things and I start to kind of talk myself into the wrong direction. And then all of a sudden he comes back and just reminds me, like, just shoot your shot. You've done this before. You can do this. It's no different than it was like 30 minutes ago when you were doing a qualifying round. And that's a huge, huge thing for me to have him in my corner like that. Helps a ton. And yeah, I just try to kind of have the positive conversations in my head. I don't necessarily have like a mantra or a saying or anything like that. I just try to have the calming, happy, nice to myself conversations.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And you've kind of always been competitive, right? Like when you were younger, and correct me if I'm wrong, you competed? Did you compete equestrian?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a crazy horse girl growing up. Started off when I was 5.
That's cool.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely loved it. Like took to it right away. It was something my mom grew up doing, so we did it together. I got my horse when I was 8. And I was already starting to do just local shows at that point. And went up to kind of similar to what we would have as like a provincial. I did show jumping, I did eventing, I did dressage, I did all of it. Loved show jumping. That was by far my absolute favorite. Was limited really by funds, right? Like that's not a cheap sport whatsoever.
God, no.
So between financial and time, right? I was doing that 6 days a week. I was going and having lessons 2 to 3 days a week, competing every single weekend. It was literally my life until I was about, well, I met Josh when I was 17. So just before I met him is when I kind of slowed down and stopped showing. Oh yeah, it's always been competitive. Being an only child, my parents really pushed me into that kind of stuff. Team sports, not really my thing, but the individual ones, yeah.
Yeah. And silly question maybe, but do you miss it?
Every day.
Every day.
Every day. I can't, like, watching competitions, watching movies, can't do it. It breaks my heart. It absolutely does. Because I remember the days just getting on my horse and just taking off to the backfield by myself. Just stuff like that. The showing, yeah. I don't miss the politics. I mean, we think we have politics in archery. No, it's nothing like in the equestrian
A
world.
lot worse over there.
But yeah, no, I do miss it all the time.
Yeah.
My
Seems like the more
girlfriend my girlfriend would get along very well with you. He used to do dressage.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's tough. That's a really, really, really tough discipline. Good base for, I think, for all equestrian types. But yeah, I do miss it.
And do you think it helped to prepare you for what eventually would become, and this is just my humble opinion, a pretty successful archery, I won't say career, but archery life, I guess. Like you're a pretty accomplished archer for
Mhm.
At least Ontario and Canada wide. I would say you're a very accomplished archer. So do you think that the equestrian prepared you for that in any way?
I do like the discipline. I mean, the only difference is that I was taking care of like a living being. Yeah, knowing that I had a schedule, I had to be there for him. We had to work together. So I had to learn the partnership with him. And of course, I mean, no, a bow doesn't have a brain, but really a horse for the size of the animal doesn't really have a brain, and they have to trust you 100% that you're not going to throw them into a situation that's going to be harmful. So yeah, and it's actually really funny. I've actually found old videos because obviously parents videotaped everything, and you can see my lips moving. I literally am talking to myself and I'm talking to the horse the whole time through the whole thing. And I think you don't see my lips moving in archery because it doesn't work very well, but I do pretty much the same thing. I try to talk myself through and try to kind of coach myself through that I can do this. This is good. Like, this is where I'm supposed to be. There's a reason why I'm here. And I did the same thing. So yeah, it definitely translates well.
It sounds like you do have a mantra after all.
I do. I'm not one of those that I have like a set saying or a set paragraph. It's just, I mean, sometimes it's literally like, hey, dumbass, get out of your own head. You can do this. Like, just go and shoot your bow.
That's what I always say to Justin when we shoot together. So
He's always the happiest guy.
I know he is always the happiest guy.
But what's the point of getting angry?
That's true.
Well, sometimes it does work. It makes you feel better when you can just like internally scream, because I've tried to do it on the range and people look at you funny. So
God knows I've had days where I want to throw my bow, but
yeah,
it's too expensive.
Oh man, yeah. That's where equestrian would be at an advantage. You can't throw your horse, so they can throw
no.
you.
No, not so much.
So yeah, 'cause it's going back to competitive edge. Like, what do you think separates you from just being good?
There's definitely natural talent there. Not something that I ever knew I had. Just happened to be Josh said, "Hey, let's go try out a bow. I'm enjoying it. I want to do something with you," because we were constantly trying to do something together.
Mhm.
Um, and a lot of it actually just came really naturally. So I think I mean, the best people out there definitely do the practice and they put in the time and you can definitely see it. But I think when you've got that natural ability to just shoot and pick up the sport, it helps a ton. And then the support, right? Support from home, even support from other archers, sometimes even the lack of, sometimes gives you that drive of just giving you the big old FU when you need to prove something.
Right.
That definitely helps.
Yeah,
So
the support from the community certainly is it's a big thing. It's one of these strange it's a strange phenomenon in this sport anyways. You know, I did play team sports growing up, and it's maybe people in your team are supportive, but it's not like the other team's going to say, "Hey dude, like give it your give it your all," or give you their stick cuz your stick's broken or what have you, right? So like for example, I know and I don't know if you remember this, Daniela, 3 years ago, or was it 4 years ago, when Valerie's first tournament, her release malfunctioned and she punched
Yep.
herself in the face, dropped her bow. And I remember the second time it happened, you went over there and you kind of helped her out and got her settled and got her, back on the line, which was quite a feat, because she was really like, she was really jumping. I'm trying to find words here, but
distraught.
she's very upset. Like, she was really
Yep.
upset. So, and it was
Yep.
hard for her to get back on the line, but it was, and then she always remembers that. Like, she always like, yeah, if Daniela wouldn't have done that, I probably would have quit archery.
Oh,
Mhm.
wow. Well, I'm
So,
glad she didn't for sure. And
yeah.
yeah, no, it is really cool because I think a lot of us, we don't want to lose the people that we shoot with, right? We see too many people come and go, and you want to keep the community going for sure. And then I'm also the person that I want to go and compete and be able to beat people at their absolute best. So if I have to give them equipment or I have to give them pointers or whatever it is, or um, just I want them to shoot their best. I want them to put their all into it and know that we competed, not I won because something broke or because something failed on you. Like that's not right. I don't like that mentality.
No, and again, it's another mentality I find that's strong in this community. Like, it's somebody told me a story that they were competing with someone for, it was like first and second. Their release broke,
Mhm.
and the person competing with them for first place lent them a release, said, "Here you go,"
Yep.
and he beat them. And then they were like, they shook hands, hugged it out, and and all this stuff, right? Whereas again, in other sports, you would have just said, "Well, I'm going to win first place." So,
Yeah.
because
No,
you can't
I've actually
finish.
seen it where a competitor has actually run a clock because the person that they're competing against, something's happened. They had a misfire, they had a miss whatever, and they actually ran the clock. They stepped off the line, ran the clock so that they could go another round because
Oh,
that's not winning. But on the flip side though, and it sucks, there are those in the community that I find they come across as being helpful and encouraging, and yet just like in every sport, they play the games, and
mhm.
it's trying to ignore those ones and just walk away from those ones and embrace the ones that are there for the same reason you are. That's
Yeah.
one of the things I've really had to learn the past couple of years is to walk away from the ones that are trying to sabotage, even if it's quiet, just
Mhm.
because that's a killer for sure.
Yeah. So, what does a bad day look like for you on the archery, on the line, or on in a competition?
Most of the time, a bad day for me is myself. If something's not going right, like even if it's something as simple as a couple of years ago, we have a really fun shoot at Caledon, which is the summer solstice, which you guys should try. It is outdoor target, but we do it. It's the longest day of the year, so we do it chasing the sun. We don't start till like 6:30 or 7 o'clock at night. It's a shortened round overall, and we're literally chasing the sun. We're going till sundown, and everything was perfect that day. Like it was calm wind, not a ton of sun, no rain, no nothing, and I couldn't like the arrow was either just left or just right, or just left or just right, and it would like I would try to move my bubble, I would try to click my sight, and it's like I could not get it to go, and it's just It's one of those days I got into my head and I was going to throw my bow down the range. And at that point, I had to kind of step back and be like, "No, figure it out. What is it that you're doing?" Because obviously something was going on. And I mean, I realized I think it was something as simple as I was like plucking my shot and it was just kind of forcing the shot to go off. And it was just resetting myself to the things that I learned and using it as a learning experience. I've had that at tournaments too. Like I went into a tournament into a shoot down situation and for the life of me could not hit a bonus ring. Like was just not happening. It was just out, just out, just out. And yeah, that was one of those days where I just kind of had to swallow my pride, congratulate the other person, walk away and just I was saying all kinds of rude things under my breath. But it's almost always it's me. Um there was one exception to the rule, got some massive target panic, was actually full on missing bales. Like I'm talking like the big target bales. I'm shooting at like the big recurve face and I'm missing the target butt off in like to no man's land. And we were getting ready to go to provincial targets. And I'm sitting there going, I can't go to a target competition missing the bale. Like not now. I'm not new at this. I've been doing this for a while. And it was actually the first time that I actually was giving my equipment too much credit. We did throw that bow off to the side, pulled out one of my my other bows that I hadn't shot for a couple of years, and everything just settled. The panic went away. I was hitting where I was supposed to hit, and it was the first time I finally had to admit that it was actually the equipment, and that was a hard thing for me to be able to say, no, it's not me this time. It's the bow.
Yeah, I wish I could say that.
It's rare, but that bow very quickly went on the sale rack.
What bow was it?
It was actually a hybrid. So it was when PSC was bringing out the Freak, and so they hadn't actually built it yet. So we were actually calling it the Supra Freak because we had known somebody that had taken the Supra platform and kind of built this bow up to then later become the Freak. So it wasn't in production. They definitely made some modifications to it when they brought it out into production. But yeah, that one and I just, there was something very wrong.
So going on what a bad day looks like for you, what does a good day look like when everything goes right? What does that look like?
So we have a picture, and that was the day that everything went right. Sucks that the tournament no longer exists, but it was the final winter cam. And that was a tournament that was the monkey on my back. Always qualified strong, like top 3 every year that we went. And then as soon as I got in the shoot off, I walked away dead last a couple times. Just could not get the shoot off to work in my favor whatsoever. And then this year I went in, got through the qualifier, and the qualifier, I'm used to that. Like I don't get any nerves in that one, right? Because it's just a big group of people that are shooting together. You're shooting your 3D targets. It's a lot of fun. You're laughing, you're joking. Got through the elimination rounds strong. Everything was good. And then I had to sit all day because I think we were like the second last class to go into our shoot off. And trying to keep myself all calm, trying not to get into my head, ended up having a nap on a bench somewhere. And get to the shoot off. It was myself, 2 girls that I know from upstate New York, and unfortunately I don't remember who the other 2 competitors were. But the 2 from New York and myself ended up being the top 3, and we had to shoot off a 6th arrow. I ended up getting myself into a spot that I actually got to shoot off last. And the other 2 girls, one we know is Pickles. She absolutely loves pickles. Did a strong shot, but I think she was just out of the 10. And then Vicky, another amazing lady, she shoots, and I think she just had to shoot for a 10, and she was an 8. And I'm like, okay, I just have to hit like a good solid 10. Like I can do this. Come on, I can do this. And I'm trying to keep myself positive, and I can feel the energy for the people behind. And I released the arrow, and it made the weirdest noise I have ever heard in my life. Like I thought I hit something, I missed something, and I'm just standing there. I'm like, what happened? Because it goes silent. And I literally hear from behind me, Bela was there, and he's like, you did it. And I still didn't clue in. And then I hear Josh, and he's like, hon, you did it. And like everybody erupted. I lost it. Tears. There's actually pictures. I think PJ, because Cam Media was there. PJ caught me. I'm bawling my eyes out. I look like I'm praying to the gods. Josh comes over and gives me a big hug. And I'd won. I finally won that freaking tournament. And we found out afterwards the weird noise was I had screw-in weights in my points, and it had come loose.
Oh,
so
And what
it
you
shot
heard was
back.
the weight hitting into the knock as it went downrange.
Oh my
Wow.
But
god.
it hit where it was supposed to. The other funny part of that tournament was our coach, Coach G, was also Pickles' coach. He was supposed to call the arrows. And he's sitting there going, I can't do anything. I can't help you guys because it's kind of a conflict. And I can't call the arrows because it's two of my girls shooting off. So when we both shot, it was hilarious because he came running out of the curtain. He was like, ah, and he was like screaming. So yeah, that was a good day for me.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So awesome. You know, it's funny. So we had George Riles on 2 episodes ago, and what he was talking about was when you're, you know, mid to low, right? Nobody really knows who you are. You finished last. Like I tell people I finished last at 22 provincials. They're like, who the hell are you? So, you know, but like for you, it's tougher, right? Especially in the ladies division in Ontario, because, you know, there's, you know who you're going up against depending on the competition, right?
Yep.
And
Yeah.
does that give you any, do you feel like there's any added pressure with that you put on yourself or that other people put on you? Or
funny enough, at home, yes and no. It kind of comes and goes. Like you said, we know a lot of the competition. It's kind of been a little bit shitty because I've lost a few of them, just life changes and stuff, and I know they'll come back. But some of them just with starting families, changing careers, stuff like that. I've lost a few, and I think that's also one of the reasons why I've kind of lost the drive, unfortunately, for 3D right now. I know that there's some coming up, like Aaron's absolutely killing it, and there's a bunch of people that are coming up. And I'm hoping that I get the drive again to do it, but I lost it, unfortunately, for Ontario's 3D scene. I haven't done a provincials, honestly, since they held them in Windsor. That was the last time I did it. That was a long time ago. For 3D, I'll go down to the States and shoot. What's really cool is I do see a lot of the same girls down there, but the pool just is that much bigger.
yeah.
And I look for that. I don't want to be a big fish in my own little pond. I would rather go out and play in the bigger lakes and oceans. 3D for sure has that. Like when I did Metropolis, definitely noticed that they didn't have the known 50 Pro class yet. That winter cam that I won, one of the prizes was my registration into the ASA Classic that year. So they paid for me to go into Metropolis. So I did the semi-pro known 45. That was the highest that I could go at that point, just because known 50 Pro wasn't there. Got to play, like, I think at that point, Paige wasn't doing ASAs yet. She was still pushing for the known 50, but Tanya Galantine was there. And I'm trying to think there was another like high level pro shooter that was there. And then a ton of really, really, really good females that are now shooting in the known 50 class. And the fact that I walked away from that tournament tied on score for third, the girl got me by an X.
Wow.
So that's what I strive for. Same with field, right? Like every time we go down to field, we've done Mechanicsburg twice. The girls that we shoot with here, they come down with us. So I see them down there as well. But then again, much bigger pool. And the first year that we went, I actually did make podium. I was third. So being able to come home with accomplishments like that in a totally different country, not even in a different province, with the caliber of shooters that they have down there, that drives me to try a little better. Not that it doesn't do it at home, but like you said, it's in 3D. It's a small pack. It's growing, thankfully, and I'm seeing the talent and the scores definitely. So it's kind of giving me that excitement. Field, it's kind of the same handful of girls. Makes it really tough to go for anything other than just having fun with the girls.
Right. Yeah, because like I know when you did the FDCC, there wasn't a lot of. Unfortunately, it's a new tournament as well. It was there was a bit of a mix up too, but you know, there's only one other girl in your class. But you know, so what I did was I actually put your score into the guys class just to see where you would end up, and you were like 7th in K50. You know,
Yeah,
like
and that's why the last one I just went into the guys class.
yeah,
Not that I wanted to leave the other girl there by herself, but I knew I wasn't in a running for anything. Just because with helping Josh with his at Galt, I kind of did the same thing as him. As I stepped back, I didn't shoot that one. Um, but yeah, I will go where the competition is. So especially for 3D, um, any club level tournaments, you'll almost always see my name with the guys. I'll
right,
just stay with the guys class.
yeah. And do you feel like having that kind of competition makes you better, like in a tournament?
Yeah,
Makes
for
you
me it
better.
does. It drives me. Yeah, because it gives me a goal, right? I know what people can, what scores they're shooting. Um and even the new ones that are up and coming and surprise me. Yeah, that gives me kind of that fire to try to do better, to try to keep up. And sometimes it literally is, I mean, it's a joke, and I know there's a ton of the guys out there that are super supportive, and then again, there's some of them out there, they just, it absolutely eats at them if a girl can beat them, and I don't understand why, but whatever. Um I think that's one of the things I don't understand coming from the horse background. They don't separate us,
Oh,
guys
okay.
and girls, on the human side and on the horse side. We all compete together.
Mm.
So for
Mhm.
me, going into archery and saying, okay, I'm going to go shoot with the guys, um, I don't see that as being a big deal. It does definitely drive me, but yeah, there are some out there, they get quite.
Crotchety. That's too bad.
So, so who would you say your biggest female competitor is?
So right now, like I said, Erin Lee, I mean, I know she's absolutely on fire. So I've watched her and she's kicked my butt in a few different places, which is really cool to see because I've seen her kind of come up from beginning in compound. I know she shot recurve long before I knew who she was. Uh, yeah, definitely she's a huge competitor. Again, some of them just because of current life situations aren't really competing as much. But I mean, for the longest time, both Fionas, McLean and Maud, we were constantly on each other's heels. Katie Roth was a huge one, and I know that she's planning on coming back now that her daughter is getting a little bit older, so she's hopefully going to come back and play a bunch. Yeah, I mean those are kind of the consistent ones. I have quite a few like Rachel Savage. She was doing recurve. Heck, I think even before she was out of diapers. I know
Yeah.
she went and she at least tried for the Olympics. I'm not sure if she actually ever got to go, but I mean, she got to that level that she's a huge competitor when she puts her mind to it. Just
Mm-hmm.
life gets in the way and she doesn't get to do it as much as she wants. So, and it's always evolving. I know that there's quite a few other archers kind of on the eastern side of the province that I'm not as familiar with, but I hear their name, I see their scores. So I'm pretty sure when we cross paths, that's going to be some good competition out there too.
I'm pretty sure Valerie would be able to name them all. She keeps track of them all.
I know I've shot with at least one or two of them. The two times we've gone to Carl's, but even that changes all the time. Kind of who's in those shoot offs. I think there was maybe one or two girls that were consistent in the shoot offs. They're always flipping around. So yeah.
So switching gears just a little bit. Uh, and I think I asked Mark this question too about becoming interim president of Archery Ontario. How did you end up running or maybe not exactly running the club, because I know you do have a lot of help, but how did you end up as president of Archers of Caledon?
Oh, at one of our AGMs, I think it was about 7 or 8 years ago, our president at the time, who he was stepping down. He had been a president forever, and he decided it was time that was Bruce, so he was stepping down from Archery Ontario as well as the Archers of Caledon, and then I'm trying to think who else it was. There was another person that was up for election, and they were kind of the ones that ran 3D at the club, which has never been a huge, strong area for us because we've been mostly the target in the field side. And for the 3D side, Josh and I decided to throw our name in and say, like, we're going to work as a team and try to make it better, try to make the field better, and try to get the focus out there. So I ended up getting voted in for kind of the interim because Bruce stepped out like about halfway through. I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 year cycles. So I came in about halfway through and we started to do a little bit of work. And then it came time for my my election again. And I stayed on as more membership chair and helped on the admin side a little bit more just because of my background with computers and websites and stuff. Helped out with that quite a bit. And the 3D actually ended up moving to another board member. And then at that time, April was our president, and she'd been on for a long time, and she was actually moving. So she stepped down, and it was actually the treasurer who came and the way we do it is you get voted to the board as per the membership, but then the positions are decided amongst the board members at like a quick meeting
Oh,
afterwards.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was our treasurer at that point said, "Okay, so Daniela's the president," and I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "Well, just because." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm not going to fight because our treasurer's been around forever as well." Like, okay, I won't fight you on that. And I wasn't quite sure what I was getting myself into, having only been in there for about a year or two. And then that's when I learned it really is a team effort. It's just a placeholder. That's really all it is. Now, anytime I threaten them that I'm going to step down just because of I'm too busy doing everything else and I want to shoot more and work less, and I get yelled at and told, "Don't worry, we'll do all the hard work. You just have to stay on and sign the checks and do the membership on the back end and make sure things are working." So it's really hard to just walk away now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always hard to find good people to do the volunteering because it's, yeah, like people understand it's not a paid gig, first of all. It's sometimes it's a thankless job,
Yep.
or a lot of times it's a thankless job.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
And people don't realize how much work you're putting into it. Like for me, if I was in running the Royal City Bowman, and even though it's a smaller club and what have you, there's some nights where I'm like spending so much time and I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, I'm not getting paid to do this. But it's like, but if I don't do it, who's going to do it? I don't know if that's a good driver.
It's just for the love of the
Makes you
game.
think.
It's the love of the game.
No,
Yeah.
Love of the game.
It's tough because I mean we see it at the AGMs, right? It's always the current board member can put their name forward again and hold the position if they would like to, but we always encourage everyone, put your hand up, because if you have something to contribute, if you want to change something, put your hand up. If the membership votes for you, there's no hard feelings. Believe me, that person will
Yeah.
gladly give you that spot, and no
I
hands
agree.
ever go up. They never do.
I agree. I have no ego in this. Like, someone wants to do it tomorrow, you just give me a call.
Yeah.
I'll post my number later. Says give me a call if you want to do it. Please go ahead.
I'm always telling my people, like, I know for a fact. So we have the luxury that our treasurer and Mark both are retired, right? So they can be there almost all the time. Everybody else on the board, we all work full time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard enough for me when people are asking for a fob or asking for a key or something's not working. I'm the closest one to the club, so I can run up. But it's like, okay, yeah, I'm close, but I still have a job and a family and other things that I want to do. So I'm so thankful that they're there and they can help do the hard work. And anytime we're doing any kind of announcements or presentations or anything like that, I'm like, please do it. Use your name. Don't even mention me. It's fine. I will not be hurt if you don't mention my name. So yeah, I'd rather just stay in the background.
Yeah, I hear you. And so, what do you think is harder, like running the club and dealing with people, or competing in archery?
Dealing with people. Dealing with people at the club for sure, because you've got so many personalities, and there are a lot of them that do take things a lot, like take it really personally. I noticed that 100% during COVID, the fights that we would have when we're trying to tell people, like, we're not making the rules. These are rules that are being imposed on us. And unfortunately, where we're located, because we're in Peel, we had enforcement around all the time. And if they saw people even outside doing stuff, like, we constantly were getting questioned. So I'm just like, no, we're not letting you go to the club because we're mean or because it's fun. Or, I mean, unfortunately, we've had to do the hard task of removing people for various reasons. And it's like, no, we're looking at the betterment for everybody, including that person.
Yeah.
But I hate that part. I absolutely hate that part.
Yeah. It's it's the thing that people don't see too, is like the hard parts of like negotiating with, like, for me, I got to negotiate with GRCA every year. I get to get the Archer Ontario insurance.
Yeah.
Well, they spell it wrong every time. When I send it to GRCA, they're like, Chris, can you get this spelt right? I'm like, okay. And I send it back, and it's like, oh, okay. Well, it's just silly little things, right? So
It
things that
is.
people
It
don't
is.
see. Yeah.
Little things, even like, I mean, you go to a tournament and there's a target, but that's a little bit too soft. It's like, okay, yeah, we can get another one, but it's the actually right now we're fighting with it. This is the silliest thing I've ever heard. We're trying to get new targets in. We have accounts with like Lancaster and all these other companies, but because Caledon itself is starting to change some of the addresses around, Canada Post has one address, Google has a different address, somebody else has a different address. We actually cannot get the stuff shipped to us because they can't come to a consensus of a shipping address. And I was like, I cannot believe that this is what I'm dealing with on a Thursday night, is fighting with Canada Post about what our address is today.
It's just a shit show. I'm glad I don't have to deal with any of that.
Oh my God. It's that stuff that drives you bonkers. It absolutely is. But I mean, there's the cool side of it too, right? Like we did Canada Cup East, which in
Mhm.
itself was, oh my God, we finally had to, after the second year, we're like, no more, we're taking a break. But seeing all the archers and being able to run a tournament like that and seeing the enjoyment and the community coming together, like that part of it's really, really cool.
Mhm.
But it's all the legwork to get to that cool stuff.
Yeah.
Somebody else can do that.
Yeah, if it was all the cool stuff, everyone would be doing it, right? So
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
so
and
do
it
you
is true too. You coach or you work on a board. You're not shooting. Like how many times have you seen me come up for league and I'm sitting on a computer, I'm not even
yeah,
touching my bow?
a few times. Yeah, a few times. And and I'm lucky enough to get out to league as well. Especially now the season started. Like tomorrow, Justin and I got to go cut down a bunch of
Yep.
trees,
Yeah.
and I still haven't sighted in my I still haven't made my sight tape yet for my to shoot the 3D shoot at Galt on Sundays.
Oh, nice.
So that's what I'll be doing. Hopefully, I'll be doing that Saturday, but we'll see. And so do you actually get to enjoy archery anymore, given how busy you are with? Because it's not just being the president of the club. It's also you're a mom, you're a wife. You have other hobbies as well, right? So
Yep.
do you actually get to enjoy archery anymore?
I do. Not as much, and I know we keep saying that we're going to enjoy it more. We're going to try to put in more time. The fact that we've got a backyard that we could actually shoot in. We do have a couple targets out there, so I know as long as we keep a bow set up and kind of at that back door, we'll go out, even if it's just to fling a couple. Um, when I do get to go out for the tournaments or even just for fun shooting, I still do love it. I absolutely do. I need to get a little bit more of a fire under my ass to actually go out and practice. I mean, we've got a few things that we're practicing for this year. Like we've signed up for bow hunter games. So I have to somehow learn how to shoot a hunter setup again. That's been very weird for me because I haven't done a hunter setup in a very long time. But I am looking forward to that shoot for sure. Would definitely like to go back and do a couple more ASAs because that was an absolute blast. And field down there for sure.
Mhm.
So I think that's the thing, is I need to just get some kind of goals and some targets of things that I want to work towards again, and just get that drive back.
Yeah, for sure. So
What
go ahead, Mish.
I was gonna say, what's the bow hunter games? I think I've heard of that.
That's that new ASA tournament that's in Kentucky, Tennessee. It's in
Tennessee, yeah.
August. Yeah, it's the new one that they've just put in this year. So it's kind of like a TAC meets a bow fest. So it's like 3 or 4 days. You have to shoot a hunter setup. But I think they're going out to 80 yards. Huge payouts. Like I think men's money class is like 60,000 and the ladies is like 40,000.
Jesus.
And yeah, it's a whole festival. They're gonna have the entire vendor village. I think they're gonna have bands there. Like it's a huge, huge ordeal. First time they're doing it. Sounds like a ton of fun. So
That's
we've signed up. We're definitely going.
It's gonna be a
That
blast.
sounds
Yeah,
like a lot of fun.
we're also going. So
Yeah.
Valley and I
You're going?
signed up for the Valley and I signed up for non-competitive. Yeah,
Gotta sign up. Gotta go.
This is in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's August 19 to 23, I think.
I can maybe convince
right
my
out.
girlfriend to go. Yeah, to
It's
Tennessee.
right after the Southern Canadian.
She'd always want
Yeah.
to go to Nashville.
she can go to Nashville. I'm gonna go to Nashville. I'm checking out the Grand Ole Opry. You better believe it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it sounds like it's going to be an absolute blast. Definitely not a setup that I'm used to, but I mean, they have some kind of weird rules that I'm just figuring out now. So having to set up the bow to make sure it's within spec, and learn how to shoot in the sun without an umbrella because apparently we're not even allowed to take an umbrella with us as like cover. I was like, no,
It's like that's bow hunter essentials. What are they talking about?
yeah, no, no. No, but yeah, no, I'm just going down because I mean I know the people that we're gonna see there alone has got me kind of excited because I don't get to see them very often. So besides the shooting, it's always just a big party.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it for sure. It's gonna be it should be fun.
It does sound like a lot of fun. I wish I could go.
Yeah,
Just do it.
I think they still have they still have non-competitive tickets left. It's $100.
Yeah, it's not the event that's cheap, it's the flights that are expensive.
Well, I think we're
And
driving
flying
down.
both to
So
stay in Tennessee.
Yeah, I think it's what 10 or 12 hours. So I think we're just driving.
I couldn't.
Just switch out the driving. It's all good.
You could drive there in one day.
you can't
yeah.
drive it. You can't drive
You got
12
it,
hours.
Leash.
Driving to Pennsylvania
on.
is fucking far enough for me. I don't want to drive any further.
Really?
Yeah, but Pennsylvania has definitely nice areas, but it gets kind of boring. Keep going down, the drive gets really interesting.
I guess. Oh no.
And they've got good bourbon down there too.
There you go. Yeah, they do have good bourbon down there.
All right. All right. You convinced me.
Done.
You convinced
Your
me.
girlfriend will-
But
Your girlfriend will love
so
it.
tell your girlfriend that she can go and see all the pretty horses. You can go and shoot
Yeah.
the bow. Come
Yeah.
back together for some bourbon. We're good.
Does
all
she,
right,
does she,
I'll
does she
talk
listen?
over
Does she
later.
listen to the pod?
No.
Does she listen to the show?
She doesn't listen to podcasts. No.
Good. Good. So what I'm going to propose to you, sir, is that you propose to her in Nashville
Oh my
in front of the
God.
Grand Ole Opry. In front of the Grand Ole Opry.
Ooh, that would be good.
Huh? Hey, man.
The wheels are turning.
They are.
I'm not just the president of a club, man. I'm a romantic dude.
Yeah. Oh, he's got a tear.
No, it's a condition.
Sure. Sure. I'm
There was
not
stuff in
crying.
my
You're
eye.
crying.
Justin, I think
Oh.
Justin's got something in his eye too.
A little bit. That's just dust.
No, I mean, we both do want to go to Nashville, so that might just be our excuse.
Yeah, I think it's an hour outside of Nashville, so Yeah.
But we're already driving 12 hours, so
yeah, why
Might as
not?
well.
what's an extra one?
You know, exactly. I agree. We speak the same language. Awesome. So just quickly, you're talking about bow hunter setup. I know. Do you bow hunt at all? A little?
Yes. So I've attempted at sat in many a tree. Got the chance for a shot. I think it was a year or two ago, and the release clipped off my collar. So thankfully, totally clean miss. Everything was good. Yeah. No, this past year I went out, did the saddle hunting thing. Got skunked completely. There's just no movement when we went out. I'm a bit of a fair weather hunter. Like I'll go out in some weather, but when it's like sleet and pouring rain and wind, which actually I went out in the wind once, I thought my saddle turned into a swing. That was not so much fun, especially after I watched one of my carabiners go flying down the tree to the ground. I'm like,
Oh,
what
boy.
was that?
Oh dear. Jesus.
But yeah, no, definitely it's something I've gone out and tried to do. Haven't been successful. I've been successful with the shotgun for turkey and pheasant.
Awesome.
That was really, really cool. But yeah, no, haven't gotten the deer yet. Still on the bucket list.
Me neither. That's this year. I'm hoping to finally put an arrow through a deer. So
Now we know they're around. Like we see them on the cameras. It's just hasn't been our luck. So
yeah.
one day.
And then eventually an arrow through a moose. That's my ultimate goal. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta do the one through the deer first. Like I know even for some reason pheasants wasn't a big deal for me. Pulling the trigger on a turkey, just knowing like I'm deciding that turkey's fate that day. It took me a little bit to wrap that around my head. Once I got it and ate it, it was great because I absolutely love wild turkey. Like that's probably my favorite right now.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, it was just I had to be okay with being the decision maker that day. So and for me, the bigger the animal, the harder it is. So obviously the deer being the next step up kind of in my head, it's like, okay, I have to be okay with knowing that I've made that choice that day. I've done it right. It's for a good reason. Like I don't have an issue with it at all. But yeah, I got to do that. And then we'll go to the next step and see what else there is.
Yeah, it's a different experience for everyone, right? I think we've talked about that on the show as well. Like for some people, it's like for Valerie, she doesn't care. She shoots them, like it doesn't bother her at all. And it's like I remember, my moose. bothered me a little bit. Like when I saw it fall and hit the ground, I was like, yeah, I was taking that thing. That thing's never going to breathe again, right? And it's it hits you for a little bit, and then we went up, and I said a little bit of I always say a little prayer, I make a little offering to the animal, and then and thanked it for giving its life. And yeah, it's quite the experience. Like just and like I said, it's different for everyone. Some people cry, some people get shaky, and some people are just stone cold killers like my wife. So there you go.
I know I probably won't be. Like, for me, it was funny because I got the turkey, and I mean, I shook with that one just because it was the first one. And for me too, it was funny because I had Dale and Josh helping me with that one, and I'm so used to a bow that I need this like open space, and I've got the shotgun, but I see these little trees in my picture, so I'm thinking I can't shoot through the trees because like it's not going to work, and I can hear them both going, "Just shoot it." Like, it's right there, just shoot it. And so finally I did, and it was actually a decent shot. It went straight up in the air, and just to make sure it didn't go anywhere, Josh took a second shot just to make sure like it was good. And they're both sitting there going, "Why didn't you shoot it?" And I'm like, "Because there was stuff in my picture." And they're like, "It's a gun. Like, just shoot it." So now I have to do that now in the tree every once in a while. I'm up there with Josh. I'm like, you need to cut this branch, you need to do this, and it needs to be perfect. I need to be able to like not ricochet off a branch. But yeah, it's I'll probably be shaking. I'll probably do the tears for the first one. I know Josh will, because when the deer came out that I tried on, the tree was shaking because he was shaking beside me in excitement. I'm like, "Stop shaking."
Hard to imagine that man shaking in a tree. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, no, it was hilarious. Like, I could hear his breathing, and I could hear like the anticipation, and he's getting excited, and I'm at full draw, and I'm like, "Oh my God, stop shaking." But he's by far the biggest supporter. Like, I know as soon as I do get one, oh my God, he's gonna be the biggest cheerleader. He's probably gonna have tears. He's gonna be like screaming at the top of his lungs. Everyone will know that I have a deer.
That was something Erica Marchand said that really stuck with me, because I was saying the same thing. Like for me, teaching Valerie how to do all this stuff has been very rewarding. And she's like, "Yeah, you guys are learning to play again, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's all play. Like it's playing with expensive equipment. Like that's what she called it, right? It's playing with she's absolutely right. Like if I was 10 years old and I could afford a $2,000 bow and I could have went out and sat in a deer stand at 10, I would have done it for sure. I would have been out there all the time.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no,
kind
he
of
was the same with the with my motorcycle, right? Like taking me out on my motorcycle to just a parking lot in a warehouse, teaching me kind of how to do like the throttle control and the clutch control. Like, I mean, I drive standard in a car, so I can understand the concept obviously with my feet. Trying to get my brain to be okay with doing the same thing now with my hands. That was a little bit, but oh yeah, no, for that kind of stuff, he gets so excited to teach that kind of stuff and then see the person succeed. Yeah, he's the biggest cheerleader.
yeah. Because I taught Valerie how to ride as well. So it's I remember when we first met and she knew that she found out I had a motorcycle, she was so excited. So she got on the back of the bike, and I didn't have a great bike. It was like a Ninja 500. It was an older bike.
Yeah.
And I remember I lived in Hamilton at the time, and we drove out to Burlington, and she was just beside herself. When I remember she took her helmet off, she just couldn't stop smiling. She was so excited.
Nice.
And I'm like, you got to get your own bike because there's not enough room on this bike.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a 1.5 seater at best.
Well, he pushed me to get mine because it was always fisticuffs between me and my kid, because I'd go out for a ride, right? And then she'd be like, "Okay, next one's mine." And I'm like, "Okay, that's not how this works, kid. Like, we'll let you go when you can go." She's like, "No, the next one's mine." And then Josh and I would go out, and we would stop for like a coffee or something, and then we'd come back. That was longer than what I got. You stopped for coffee. Why don't I get coffee? So he's like, "Okay, you need to get your license. Like, this is enough." But now he regrets it because I never get on the back of his, right? I'm always riding my own now. So he's like, "Oh, I don't have, like, you never sit on the back with me anymore." I'm like, "No, I got my own now."
So it's going back to archery, because I think this is an archery podcast. I don't remember.
Maybe.
So where do you see the future of archery in Ontario?
That is a tough one, because I've heard that same question over the, oh my gosh, 15 or 16 years that I've been in it. So I'm still just a baby compared to a lot of people that we know. um, I love the stuff that I'm seeing with like Bruno and Carl and Rogue and now Perkins and all that stuff. Like I absolutely love that. The province needs it. The province is so freaking huge. And I know that's where we keep running into the same problems. Like Archery Ontario tried to do it many, 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 many times over, even before I was even born. When Ontario 3D was around, they tried to do it. All the different interclub, like FDCC's trying to do it, and I hope that they kind of keep with the same vision that they have and don't try to get too big too fast. Because that's what I see a lot of the times happening is everyone's like, okay, the first year was great, the second year was great. Okay, let's make this bigger. And it's like, no, then it gets too big, just because our province is too freaking big.
Yeah.
So I think having these little regional higher end tournaments is really cool to see. So having like the East End have their Triple Crown, having kind of the Central with FDCC having theirs. I hope to see more happen out West. I know it's a little bit more difficult because they don't have quite as many clubs out that way, but between Bruno, if they could, heck, even if they could talk to Landon Kent, and see other clubs out there if they can get something going there. We all want to be at all of them. We all want to support them all. But I know I can't travel to one end of the province to the other every single weekend. Like,
No.
don't have enough time,
Nope.
funds, too many other things. So I like where it's going right now. I like the fact that we've got these regional things, although it's not how it was intended, but it's kind of how it's working out. I think if they stay with that kind of vision, I think it'll be a lot more popular again. I hope AO with the new board or the semi-interim new board, whatever it is right now, I hope that they can just do better overall. I kind of see the same rabbit hole that they all end up going down when it comes either to whatever if it's funding, if it's focus, whatever. They always end up kind of at the same pinch point, and then they try to start again, and then they end up at the same pinch point. So I'm hoping that this new group kind of can see a bigger picture from the clubs that they're associated with and just do better. That's all. I don't know how else to kind of reiterate that one, but it just, yeah, they just need to do better. Because they're losing. I find the trust and the respect from a lot of members just because we see the same problems over and over and over again, and a lot of us are just hands up walking away. Like we would rather go and support these independent groups that
Yeah.
are listening, right?
Right.
I don't care about the prizes. I don't care about the money. I don't care about
No.
that stuff, but these clubs are actually listening and giving us something that's fun, something that's challenging, and they're looking at the bigger picture of what the tournaments look like in the States. They're not worried about, well, but we need to focus all of our attention to the world or the nationals. No, nobody goes to those, right? Well, most of us tend to funnel back down to the US, whether it's the ASA, whether it's field nationals, whether it's target nationals, all that stuff. So let's focus on that pathway. And I find that the Triple Crown out East is doing it. FDCC, especially, I know Galt has the ASA ranges. I know you, Chris, you got like you're starting to kind of go that way.
It will be ASA light, if you will. But
Yeah,
yeah, we
but
will.
still, you got
We
to
will have
start
ASA
somewhere.
targets. Yeah,
You got to start somewhere.
We'll have uppers. We'll have uppers and lowers, right? So they mean the sizes will be different just because it's their older ASA type targets. But yeah,
but it's a start,
Yep.
right? And
Yep.
that's what everyone's asking for is we've had this modified pseudo IBO rules for so long, and even that, find me the rule book, right? Like you want clubs to follow certain rules, you want them to all conform to certain standards. Okay, show me what those are. And I think
Yeah.
that's where a lot of people are getting frustrated is you can't tell us to follow rules that don't exist.
Yeah.
Whereas ASA, and even if it is IBO, if you wanted to say, you know what, Ontario is going to run 100% IBO, fine, but at least then we have something to go off of. Having this kind of Mickey Mouse mismatched thing I think that's what frustrates a lot of archers because we want to know what game are we playing. And that's what I like seeing with, like I said, with the independent tournaments that are kind of popping up everywhere. They're listening, they're learning, they're growing, they're not stagnant. So as long as we keep going that way, I think we'll thrive. If we go the way of the past and the way things have always been, we're gonna have frustration again.
Yeah. Well, I think part of it too, and I know Mark talked to this, was it's communication. Their
Yeah.
communication, and I'm just gonna say it, it sucks.
Yes.
It really sucks. The website hasn't been updated, things like that. And I get it. Everyone's busy. It's not an easy job, and I'm not trying to. I'm not criticizing, but I'm criticizing. Let's just.
Yeah.
I'll just put it up there,
Yeah.
because if I'm not doing it, so I can't really say whatever. I can't criticize too much because I'm not taking over a job at Archery Ontario and doing it. What I would like to see more of though is uh, them actually having, I know they have an AGM, but why not meet with the clubs? Hey, what are you guys doing? Like, what do you guys have? What do you guys need? What do you guys, because without the clubs, there's no archery.
There's not,
right?
no,
And
for sure.
I understand it from their administration point of view. Then we've got to have insurance. We've got to have all these things. And again, like that has to be made clear to the clubs too. Like, Archery Ontario, you're not going to find cheaper insurance. First of all, it's not going to happen. If you got to go get your own insurance, it's going to be expensive.
Yep.
OFAH is pretty expensive. I looked into it. So, and archers are cheap. Just
Yep.
not
Frugal. We'll say they're frugal.
Frugal, yes, frugal, very frugal. So, and then the other thing, I guess, and in their defense too, like Archery Ontario's defense, anyways, they also have to answer to Archery Canada, right? So, and that's one thing a lot of people don't understand. Like some of the policies that they have to follow, and some of the all comes out down from the governing body, which is Archery Canada. So,
I think the other problem though is that for the longest time, for archery, we've had the one governing body, right? Like you go to the States again, just that's our neighbors. They have IBO, they have ASA. They have very different visions, but it gives kind of clubs an option. In Canada and Ontario, they've tried, at least on the Ontario side, they've tried to break out. And I know Archery Canada is the governing body, and it's also because they're the ones that are linked to the government funding, yada, yada, yada. But I think that's the problem for the longest time, is that those entities focused 100% about getting the funding, which I get, that's how they pay their bills. But that funding is always driven by what the government wants. And I mean, for a while, the government wanted numbers. They didn't care where the numbers came from. They just wanted to see clubs with numbers. Cool. They found a way to do that. Then they decided to pivot and said, okay, we want to focus on Olympics. Well, Olympics only does one type of archery, one discipline. So all the money went to them. So of course, compound archers, 3D archers, field archers, we all put up our arms and went, well, what about us? Like we go and we compete. No, we can't go to the Olympics, but we go to the world stage. We go to the international stage. What about us? Well, no, government funding's only the Olympics. Okay, that kind of sucked. Now we've got compound in the Olympics, but the focus hasn't changed.
No.
So I think that's the thing too, is that Archery Canada has to change their model. Yes, funding's important. I get it. That's where you get all the stuff that you can funnel down, but they've got to change it to be all encompassing, because archery's not Olympic recurve, right? We have so many other things, especially like you saw the huge explosion of barebow. Now the big push is, I mean, the hunter division is just absolutely exploding. They need to focus on everybody.
Yeah.
They need to find a way to focus on everybody. And I think that's the biggest qualm everyone's had for the longest time is, well, Archery Canada just cares about the recurve, so poo-poo on Archery Canada.
Yeah.
Which also means, unfortunately, Archery Ontario focuses on Olympic recurve. And we don't have the other bodies to go to. We don't have an IBO to go to or an ASA to go to. And I know they've tried a couple times. They've tried to find ways to kind of break into Canada and try to do stuff like that, but they get stopped at the gate by Archery Canada saying, whoa, like, no, you can't do this. Well, I think if they really pushed, they could, and they'd probably do really well.
Oh, I would agree with that. Like a lot of the clubs that you look at, you go as far as Sudbury, Timmins, wherever, they're all 3D clubs.
Yep.
They're all 3D clubs. Some of them have field, but most of them are 3D clubs.
Oh, yeah. In Ontario, there is no other club like Caledon when it comes to target.
Correct.
And we don't try to use that as clout, but we've started to kind of push back a little bit and be like, you're trying to impose all these fees and rules on us. Just remember, if we pull out of your membership, you have nowhere in the province that any of the archers can go and get their qualifying scores. Like, who else can put over 100 archers on a field in one day for target? Right? And they need that for their qualifiers. They need that for their team building. If we shut that down on them,
right,
what have you got? So it's every once in a while we have that in our back pocket as if they push too hard, we may end up pushing back a little bit because we need to make sure that whatever they choose to do isn't going to sink all the clubs. Because
Right.
again, like I know Royal does really, really well, Galt does really, really well, Caledon does really well, but there's a lot of clubs out there that are barely treading water and they're just trying to do the best for their members. And
Yep.
if you impose all this extra stuff, that it's not that it's not necessary, but again, it's not looking at the bigger picture. They're just focusing on this one aspect. They're going to sink clubs left, right, and center if they're not careful.
Yep. Totally agree. Totally agree. So, go ahead. Were you going to say something, Mish? Go ahead.
No.
No. Is
I was
it
just
the
listening
dog?
to that dog snoring.
I know.
I thought Justin farted for a sec.
No.
I'll show you. I swear.
I thought
She's
Josh was.
here.
I thought Josh was
Oh,
hungry. that's
we
what I thought.
believe you. The first time we heard the dog was with Josh or with and
No,
we thought he was
she's a little
farting.
Mack truck when she snores.
So, looking at things now, presidency, the competitions, et cetera, et cetera. Are you doing this for you, or is it for everyone else?
The archery part. So the presidency part, I think I'm doing it. There's a few members on the board I'm doing it for. It's kind of one of those when they leave, I'll probably step off with them. The archery itself, the competition stuff, that is for me and for me and Josh, because it is something that we enjoy doing together. We're also going into kind of a new era of life because our daughter is starting college in the fall. So, I mean, she's becoming way more independent.
Awesome.
And everybody in the archery world that has been around us for as long as I've been shooting, at least, has seen Bella grow up from diapers to now, which is crazy. So yeah, now that she's kind of doing her own thing, she's able to get herself from A to B without us always being home. We want to keep doing stuff, the two of us. I mean, it definitely keeps things a little bit more alive, keeps us connected, right? I mean, if all you ever do is the 9 to 5 and then go to bed, it's like, what kind of a life is that? So, doing that for the two of us to go and enjoy. We really enjoy it. We enjoy the travel, we enjoy the shooting, we enjoy the competition. Yeah, that part's for us 100%. The presidency, that's for a few other people on the board that I just can't walk away from. I'm kind of hoping they walk away and I'll just follow suit. But yeah, as long as they keep kind of picking up whatever I'm not doing, I can stay on and help out, but that'll be limited for sure.
And then for us to close, if we stripped everything away today, what would you keep?
If I didn't have archery at all today?
Yeah.
Thankfully, I've got the bike. So in the summertime, I could see us. I mean, it's already hard enough to pick on the nice days if we're going to go shoot our bow or ride our bikes. The past couple of years, I've actually gotten a lot more into sporting clays. We try to do that at least one day on the weekend during the summer. Again, fair weather. I don't like the cold. I don't like the rain. So in the winter, I'm kind of screwed. I think I just have to get on a plane and go somewhere warm. That's what I'm going to do for that. But yeah, no, sporting clays, getting more into like the whole shotgun aspect, really enjoying that. And that's, again, a Josh and myself kind of thing. I think I could maybe get back into doing the horse thing as a hobby, nowhere near to the extent. I probably wouldn't go back to showing. I definitely would not go back to 6 days a week. But I still have enough connections and enough friends in the industry that I could probably hop on one here and there and just kind of play around a little bit. I could see myself maybe doing that because it's still something that I still have the itch, and I literally have a horse farm across the street that I could go walk to, and it's my old coach of all people. So I probably could. I think that would probably be something that I'll end up doing down the road again.
You think you get Josh on one?
I already have. He actually did ride when he first met me. Yeah. So I still had my two at that point. So he went out riding with me a couple times.
That's awesome.
So yeah, no, he did do it. It's not his thing. He did it for me. It's definitely not his thing. And I think that's one of those, having the hobbies together is fantastic, but we also know that we need to have our own things here and there. Like every once in a while, I totally joke and I tease him about it, but he'll jump on the bike just himself and just take off because he just needs to, or he goes and he shoots the guns by himself every once in a while with a couple buddies. So I think having something that's my own, especially later on, is not a bad thing. I think that's actually a really healthy thing. So I could see doing that.
I agree. And then the last question, I think Justin had a question for you, but he's
I do. No.
I do.
I was waiting to ask it higher or earlier, but that's okay. So who is the better archer between you and Josh?
Depends on the discipline for sure. My goal is still to catch him at 3D. I've done it a couple times, but
Okay.
he usually trounces me on 3D. That is definitely his discipline. The target the field side, that's mine. I'm the stronger one on that side for sure. All around, I think we're actually quite similar. I think because we grew up doing, well, not grew up. We started archery around the same time. We went through the same trials and tribulations. We went through the same coaching. So our shooting styles are very, very, very similar. Our specs are very similar. Our likes and dislikes of equipment is very similar. So we constantly push each other, tease each other, heckle 100% and cheerlead. So I think we're quite balanced, but when it comes to the individual disciplines, yeah, he's the 3D archer for sure, and the hunter. I'm the target and the field archer.
Awesome.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So on that note, we'll say thanks for coming, Danielle. That was great. It was good, very good conversation.
Yeah, no,
Very-
that was a lot of fun. Very, very cool.
I'm Justin Harrison. You can find me on Instagram at Justy_785 or on Facebook. Just look up Justin Harrison.
I'm Misha Corso. You can find me on Instagram at Misha Corso. And if you're looking for some great bow hunting and sport shooting merch, look up Stray Sons Archery on Instagram. The link to our Shopify is in our bio.
I'm Chris LaFleur. If you want to find us, the show is Letdown Podcast on Spotify and YouTube. And on Instagram and Facebook, you can find us at the Letdown Podcast. Catch you next time. This was The Letdown. Thank you for listening. This was The Letdown.